Why would we have a cow in a climate change exhibit? All of those cows are producing an awful lot of methane, and it's contributing to some of our climate changes.
Learning about the environment can be both fun
The red is expanding, the orange is expanding.
and a little scary.
So much of what people hear about global warming and climate change is a really dark scenario.
So I'm kind of nervous.
At the Aldo Leopold Nature Center, they like to remind kids there's a chance to make a difference.
After we've taken the students through, we come around the corner and we see, here's something you can do to make this better. We can talk about renewable energy sources that don't pollute the atmosphere.
While most people have heard of wind and solar energy, there is a technology that's often a surprise.
MG&E has this landfill gas program right here in the city.
That gas goes into a generator which makes electricity.
So cool. That's crazy.
We're taking garbage and turning it into something that's useful again.
People don't think about their garbage. They roll it to the curb and it magically goes away and they never see it again.
This is where it lands and where it starts to break down into something potentially useful.
You think about your garbage sitting in the garbage can at home, after about a week it starts to smell. That smell is methane.
The gas doesn't just stink, it's highly destructive.
And methane is 23 times more harmful for the ozone than CO. We are required by law to capture all of our methane and destruct it. What was typically done for years and years and years was just collect it and burn it in a flare.
But that process is still harmful to the environment. So landfill engineers came up with a better plan to use the methane as fuel.
They use that gas instead to produce electricity.
This is really a resource. It's no different than the gas that you get in your natural gas pipeline at your house.
The methane is captured throughout the landfill and funneled through pipes to run these huge train engines.
And the engine on the back end is running a large generator producing electricity.
The fuel is essentially garbage.
Turning garbage into electricity sounds promising, but it can be expensive to put into practice.
This was fairly new when we did it. We were one of the first in the state to do so. The county took quite a big risk.
But the risk paid off. Madison Gas and Electric agreed to buy the electricity generated here, even though it costs more for MG&E customers than traditional sources.
This became a brand new revenue source for the county that we bring in off of the sale of electricity.
The revenue that Dane County gets really provides a benefit directly to taxpayers.
If MG&E wasn't willing to step up to the plate and make this commitment to renewable energy, we probably wouldn't be doing it.
Early on, landfill staff did have to prove themselves.
MG&E came to us and said, we'll pay you a higher rate if you can guarantee those engines will run 100% of the time for the next 2 weeks. And the gentleman before me actually slept with those engines for 2 weeks to make sure they ran. And because we did that, we proved we had a reliable source of power.
That power is now part of MG&E's renewable energy mix.
We have a customer base that wants us to have renewable energy.
And there's no shortage of garbage.
As we use up what's in the landfill, we just keep making more.
Unlike other renewable sources like the wind or sun,
The electricity production at a landfill is pretty much 24/7 around the clock.
that electricity stays right in the community.
We're producing enough electricity here for about 4,000 homes.
It is a big deal for us to be buying electricity here in our community.
You're keeping energy dollars in the local economy. You're creating jobs here, paying our own local folks to be running these energy plants.
And what's happening in this community is they're throwing the trash away, and in a way they're getting it back in the form of electricity.
It's the way of the future. We can't continue to just do what we did. And that's the engineering side of me. I always am trying to look at things and say, how can we use this for a better use?
That's really cool. I think it's a good idea, you know, and I like it how they're planning.
It's one of the beautiful things about this renewable energy science is that something new is happening all the time.
This is the generator.
The hope is learning about creative new solutions might inspire the scientists and engineers of the future.
They're going to be the ones making the new technology that's going to help turn things around. We want them to be encouraged to make positive change.